Hey everyone, are we on? Can you guys hear me and see me okay? Is everything going all right? Okay, YouTube says I'm live, so are you guys here? Just want to make sure everyone's here. Are you guys here? Go ahead and say you're here in the comments. Hey Rick Zhang. Hi Tea Time. Hi Shameless Aura. Hey Sir Hats. Alex Benson. All right, cool. So everyone's here. And basically what we're going to be talking about today is my top 5 tips when you're buying a brand new record player. These are the things that you should look for. All right, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to do a lot of other cool new things today. I'm also going to share with you guys the Instagram winners, excuse me, the Instagram winners for this week. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up, but right now we are starting the episode, so stay tuned. Hey friends, welcome back to Eyezz. I am Jarrett New, and as I said a second ago, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top 5 tips for buying a brand new record player. And even if you already own a record player, these are, good things that you should look for. Maybe your current record player, maybe it has some of these things, maybe it doesn't have some of these things. Either way, it's just good to look for these things. You know what I mean? But anyways, so I see that we've got 66 people watching right now. Go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. That would be awesome. And for those of you who are watching this later on and couldn't join us for this live stream, go ahead and hit the subscribe and bell notification icon. That way you can join us for future live streams, because a lot of people say, oh man, I was walking my dog, or I was asleep, or I was at work, or whatever, and I missed the live stream. So I want you to hang out with me and to hang out with all of us here on the channel. So go ahead and do that, and that way you'll be notified exactly right whenever I go live. So yeah, all right. So the first thing I'm going to do, the first thing we're going to start off with here is going to be shoutouts. Now this is kind of a new thing I want to do. If you guys want, if you're here, I want you can either tell me your channel name or, your real name. Actually, I can just see your channel name there on the left-hand side. Go ahead and tell me your channel name and where you're watching this live stream from. What state are you in if you're in the US, or what country are you in? So yeah, go ahead and I'll do a shout out here for like a minute. I'm going to go ahead and set the timer right here so you can see. All right. So I'm going to go do the shout outs right now. Okay, hello Music Mia from London. Hello Oliver from Manchester, UK. Whoa, the comments are going really quickly. Hello The Black Parade from Ireland. Hello Elite Retribution from Cincinnati, Ohio. Hello PC Eats You from... Oh, man, the comments are just flooding in. 93 Shadow, hello from New York. Hello Tim Schultz from Germany. Hello Tyler Flanders from New Hampshire. Hello Philip T.S. from Greece. Hello Anthony from Danville, Virginia. Hello Conrad Flaherty. Man, I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Sorry about that. Conrad from England. Hello Nikolay from Romania. Hello I. Branrish from Ireland. Hello Rick Zhang from Massachusetts. I think I said hi to you already, Rick. Oh man, there's the timer. Brad Underwood from Illinois. All right, we got Cincinnati, Ohio, Elite Retribution. Joshua Spongberg from Salt Lake. Beautiful city, man. Hello Victor from Brazil. All right, let's see here. Hello Bratwurst from Barron, Wisconsin. Hello Maximo from Argentina. Hello Daniel from Sydney, Nova Scotia. Hello Victor Torres from Brazil. Did I say you already? Did I give you a shout out already? I don't even remember. Man, there's so many cool people here from all over the place. Hello Nez Thorn 109 from Canada. Hello Dynamic Charlie from Portsmouth, UK. Hello Hi-Fi Tim from Germany. Hello Helena from England. Hello, Jason from America. Very specific, man. Hello, Fabio Ramirez from Cancun, Mexico. And hello, Jonas Henriksen from Denmark. All right, so those are all the ones that I could get to within that very short window of time. I probably, the timer stopped and I kept talking for like another, I don't know, maybe a whole nother minute. We'll do some more shout outs later on in this live stream. So if I missed you, then just stick around and I'll give you a shout out a little bit later on, all right? Okay, so without wasting any more of your time, because it's a Saturday morning, you got stuff to do, we'll get into these tips. But I just want to say real quick that while I'm talking about these tips, feel free to drop me any questions you want in the comments, and I'll try and answer them as best I can, especially if they pertain to what we're going to be talking about today. If you have something to add with any one of these tips, then by all means, shout it out, give us your advice. We'd love to hear from you. All right, so tip number 1. Avoid the all-in-one turntables. All right, now I've said this many times, and at this point it's like beating a dead horse. I've said this so many times it's ridiculous. I've repeated this in almost every video I've made on this channel. So basically what I mean about these all-in-one turntables is, you're going to want to buy the parts separately. Any turntable that has everything included all in one, Crosley, excuse me, any turntable that has that, whether it be, this brand or that brand, if it has the record player, the amplifier, the preamp is fine, that can be included, but if it has the speakers built in and everything that you need all built into one, odds are good it's not going to be a quality record player or a quality turntable. And the reason for that is because you got to buy the parts separately. If you really want quality, you have to break it up a little bit. You have to have the turntable as one thing, it plays the record, and the preamp can be built inside that. That's totally fine. My LP120 has the preamp built inside, and that's totally okay. But whenever you start including the speakers inside, that's where you run into problems, because the speakers, they have to be a little bit larger if you want good quality sound. Smaller speakers, kind of like the speakers on your cell phone, even speakers on cell phones have gotten better with time, but usually the rule of thumb is the smaller the speaker, the less quality the sound. You know what I mean? So larger speakers like Klipsch speakers or, Fluence speakers, or even Mica bookshelf speakers, whatever kind of speakers you want for your vinyl setup, they're going to be larger. And if there was an all-in-one setup that included that, maybe it might work, but I don't think it would, because it's going to rattle as you're playing music. It's going to be rattling the whole plinth, and you don't want that, because it's going to really mess with the sound. So basically just avoid the all-in-one turntables, and you'll be okay. So, I've mentioned about certain brands that you guys are probably sick of hearing by this point. Just avoid the all-in-one turntables and you'll be doing a lot better. All right, so tip number 2. Heavier is better. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, basically what I mean is that the heavier the turntable, the more stable it's going to be. Now, there is a big push among, portable record player companies out there, like I've mentioned several times, the one, that they are pushing everyone to get more portable turntables. And the problem with that is that if they're lightweight and they're meant to be moved around all over the place, it's not going to be stable. So if you have like kind of one of those all-in-one turntables or a very lightweight turntable that has a very lightweight plinth, then when you're walking by it, or if there's a breeze or something, it's going to shake a little bit, and that's going to affect the playback. That's going to affect the sound quality of that turntable. I mean, if you're just walking by the turntable and it shakes a little bit, that's really a bad sign. You don't want that. Quality turntables are heavy. I mean, they're not super heavy. Like the LP120 that I have, I think it weighs like maybe 20 or 30 pounds, maybe like 22 pounds, something like that. And then the really high-end turntables are a lot heavier just because they don't want to be wobbling, because that's going to affect the sound. So, yeah, you want to get a heavier turntable because turntables are meant to stay in place. They're meant to stay in one spot. Lisa says she has a 40+ pound turntable. Well, I don't know about that. That might be a little too heavy, but you get my point here. If it's super lightweight and you can carry it around with, one arm comfortably, it's probably not a good quality turntable. So if you go with turntables that are a little bit heavier, that are meant to stay in one location, then odds are good they're going to be a lot higher quality. All right, now tip number, what are we on here? Tip number 3. Choose build quality over price. Okay, now what I mean by this is if you think you're going to get a high quality turntable for less than $50, I'm talking about US dollars here, then you're kind of kidding yourself, because they just don't make quality turntables within that price range. If you want something quality, in my personal opinion, now you could go to a thrift shop, you could go to a garage sale and you can get something vintage, and maybe it's not in the best condition, but you could fix it up. That's totally an option for you. But if you're not really handy, and I'm not handy at all, if you're not handy and you can't repair stuff on your own, or you can't take it somewhere to be repaired, then you want to buy it quality to begin with. And if you're going on the cheap, then you're probably not going to get something that's high quality. So in my personal opinion, the best turntables are the ones that are in the anywhere from $200 to $400 US dollar price range. Okay, because you get what you pay for. That's kind of a huge part of all this. That's a good rule in life, but it's also a good rule when it comes to turntables. So yeah, you get what you pay for. All right, now tip number, what are we on? Tip number 4. You got to ask yourself, and you got to look at this thing, does it have a counterweight? Does it have that little counterweight on the end? Because quality turntables do have that counterweight. Now you'll notice in a lot of lower quality turntables, they don't have that counterweight. It's just the tone arm, but the tone arm is kind of fixed to the plinth or something like that, and it doesn't have that counterweight. So that counterweight, it takes a lot of the pressure and a lot of the weight off of the stylus to keep everything evenly balanced. So if it doesn't have that, then it's not going to be properly balanced, and it might be putting too much pressure on the record grooves, which you don't want. So yeah, that's not a pleasant situation, because if it's putting way too much weight on your record grooves, then it could be damaging your records. So that would not be good, because and it all depends on the tracking force too. I've talked about this in past videos. If your tracking force is over 3.5 grams, then if it's 3.5 grams or less, it's going to be in the safe range. But if it's over 3.5 grams, like if it's 4 grams weight, if it's 5, 6 grams, or 7, or even higher than that, then the odds are good that it could be destroying your records every time you play them, which is something you don't want. So you can avoid this whole situation by looking at the turntable that you're about to get and seeing that it has a counterweight at the back, because that's a good indication of quality. All right? Okay, so we've talked about avoiding the all-in-one turntables. We've talked about heavier is better. Buy a heavier turntable that's meant to stay in place, that's not portable. Choose build quality over price. Don't go cheap when it comes to, good quality turntables that are going to last you a long time. Oh, thanks 93 Shadow, I appreciate it. Some use a tension spring to set the tracking force. I've never heard that, actually. A tension spring? That's interesting. Thanks, man. Okay, so avoid all-in-one turntables. Heavier is better. Choose build quality over price. And does it have a counterweight? Okay, so now I'm going to share with you my last tip. Can you upgrade the parts? Now, this is another important thing to know. Does it have upgradable parts? Can you upgrade certain parts of the turntable? For example, can you upgrade the stylus? Can you change out the needle? Can you upgrade the cartridge? Can you swap that out? Can you get a different head shell? Can you get another record mat for it? Maybe it comes with a felt mat. Can you get possibly a cork record mat? Can you also get a heavier counterweight like I was just talking about a second ago? So can you upgrade these parts? And if you can, great. That's a great indication of quality. Excuse me. So that's a good indication. I can't even talk today. That's a good indication of quality if you can upgrade these parts of your turntable. If you can't, like if it has a fixed stylus and cartridge and head shell all blended into one and the whole thing's plastic, that's going to tell you right there that this is probably not the best quality turntable. But if you can upgrade those things, like on most high quality turntables, like the LP120 that I have, it's great. You can upgrade. I switched out and put a heavier counterweight at the back. I changed the record mat. I went through a couple of different record mats actually. First, I was doing the felt mat. It was okay, but then I got better sound out of the deer hide leather turntable mat. And then I upgraded again, finally, to my most current mat, which is a cork mat, and it's a little bit thicker. So that works out pretty well. The base is really nice with that mat. I also upgraded the stylus, cartridge, and head shell, the whole assembly. And I went pretty much Ortofon everything. I got the Ortofon 2M red stylus, which I definitely want to make a video review about in the near future and tell you guys my thoughts on it. I really like it. The sound quality is much better than the stock AT95E cartridge, the Audio-Technica AT95E cartridge that comes with it. Much improved in the sound quality. And then I got basically the cartridge and stylus are kind of blended into one with the Ortofon system. And then I also got an Ortofon head shell in black, and it looks really cool against the Ortofon 2M red. Black and red kind of look cool together. So I upgraded all those things. Every single one of these things on this list, I upgraded everything on my LP120, and it sounds great and it tracks the grooves properly. So yeah. So basically, if you can upgrade these things, then that's another great indication that you've got a quality turntable on your hands. All right, now I'm going to share with you a bonus tip. And this is something that's very obvious, but a lot of people overlook it. So the bonus tip here is the platter that you're spinning the record on, is it too small? Does it not fully accommodate the entire record like in this picture? Although this record player looks cool, as you can see based on my list, it has a couple of issues with it. First of all, like the tip says, the platter is just too small for the record. It's too small, so the record is sticking out over the platter. So as it spins, there might be possibly a wobble to it. You're going to notice that the high quality turntables don't have this. The high quality turntables have platters that fully accommodate the entire record. So they're larger and the whole record can sit flat on top of the platter. So that's really good. You don't want something like this. These turntables are usually cheaper, lower quality, and even this turntable, if you look at the tone arm at the very back there, you'll notice what? There's no counterweight. So there's no counterweight there. So yet again, this one might be putting too much weight on your record grooves, and that's going to be bad. So yeah, you don't want any of those things, okay? So now you might be asking yourself, okay, well, Jarrett, what turntables do you recommend? What is a quality turntable that has all of these 6 things, including the bonus, that has everything combined? It checks off all the right boxes. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you my recommended turntables that I believe are super high quality. I've got experience with the LP60 and 120. And then the others, I've done a lot of online research on, and they have every single one of those things that I talked about earlier. So these are high quality turntables, and they're going to last you many years. All right. So, and all these links are in the video description down below if you want to check them out for yourself and do your own research, which I highly encourage you to do so. All right. So the very first turntable I'm going to recommend is the Audio-Technica LP60. Now, although it doesn't have a counterweight at the very back of the tone arm, it is not putting a ton of weight on your records. This turntable can be had for, I believe it's around $100, maybe a little more, maybe 110 or 120, but it comes with a built-in preamp, and this is probably the lowest you'd want to go as far, like this is the best introductory type turntable that you want to look into possibly getting for yourself or for a family member or friend or anyone who's getting into records. This is a great starter turntable. And it's a belt-driven turntable. The belt is actually underneath the Platter, and it's just an overall great turntable. This is something that people should get over one of those other all-in-one brands that I mentioned earlier, Crosley. So yeah, this is a great introductory turntable for around, $110. So that's not too bad. All right, the next one I have a ton of experience with, the Audio-Technica LP120. Now this picture is of one in black, but the one that I have is in silver. Either way, they're identical, whether you get the black one or the silver one. They are really high quality turntables, and the build quality is superior than to the, the LP60. Oh, hey, 93 Shadow, thanks again, man. Recent LP120s are shop queens. Oh, well, I haven't found that to be the case, man. My LP120 has been kicking for many years now, and I really enjoy it. Like I said, I upgraded all the parts, and it's done just fine for me. So, like I said, it comes in silver and black, and what's cool about it is it spins at all three speeds: 33, 45, and 78 RPM. So if all you want to do is collect the older shellac records, this is a great turntable to do that with, because a lot of modern turntables, unfortunately, don't have that 78 RPM speed. So this one gives you a lot of options, and it's a direct drive turntable, so the speeds are going to be very accurate. Excuse me. So, and it comes with a dust cover. I mean, all these come with a dust cover, and yeah, I just really like it. I can't say enough good things about this turntable. Also, if you are going to play the 78s, you'll notice on the right-hand side, right there on the right-hand side, just below the turntable arm, there's a sliding switch, and that's basically to dial in the speed. So a lot of those 78 RPM records, they're not exactly at 78 RPM. Some are at like maybe 80 RPM. Some are maybe at, 75 or 74. Some are, they're kind of all over the place. I think back then there was no universal standard. So they're kind of like, they got it close to 78 RPM, but if you're playing records and you're noticing that the sound is a little off, then you might want to play with that switch on the far right hand side there and just kind of dial it in until the 78 record sounds, correct to your ears. Okay, so that's the LP120. Great turntable. The build quality is excellent. It's going to last you many years, and it's lasted me, several years as well. So yeah, if you get that one, you're not going to regret it at all. All right, next up is the U-Turn Orbit. Now, these are really cool because unlike the LP120, these come to you from the factory already calibrated. So you don't need to mess around with like the cartridge and aligning it properly, which does take quite a bit of time to get it proper, and you want to do that because it is good for the sound of your turntable, and it'll track the grooves properly, but it does take a lot of patience when you're doing that. I was very frustrated when I set up mine. So if this is your very first turntable and you don't want to fuss around with, setting that cartridge up properly, then you could get the U-Turn Orbit. And what's cool about this turntable, it is a belt-driven turntable. It comes with so many different options, it's like ridiculous. You can choose the color of the plinth. This one right here is in red. It's very user-friendly. Look, it's got that switch on the left-hand side. And you can choose the turntable color. You can get like red or blue or green. You can even get ones that are like wood finishes and stuff like that. You can get a standard turntable platter, or you can get one like in this picture, which has acrylic. And this one also has the counterweight on the back, which is awesome. And I'm not sure what cartridge it comes with. I believe it comes with an Ortophon, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, overall, this is a great beginner's turntable as well. But what's really cool that I really like about them is that you don't have to set up that cartridge, which can be very frustrating if you're just getting into record players. Also, these, you can have the option to not have a built-in preamp or to have the built-in preamp included. So that's another great thing. If you already have a receiver that has a phono input, if it says phono on the back, then that will tell you that it has a built-in preamp in that receiver. So if that's the case, you already have a preamp, and this U-turn Orbit that you order, it doesn't need to have a preamp. You know, you don't need two preamps in the same setup. So you can just forego the preamp on this one and save yourself some money. So there's all kinds of customization options when it comes to the U-turn Orbit, and that's why I really like it. All right, so moving on, we have the Project Debut Carbon. Now this one's a classic. This one can do 33 and 45 RPM. This one has an acrylic platter, which I believe is known as the Project Debut Carbon Esprit. That's the one with the acrylic platter. But they give you a couple of different options, not as many as the U-turn Orbit, but you still have several options with this thing. You can get, you know, a standard platter, you can get an acrylic platter, you can get different colors. This one comes in, you know, very glossy black, red, and those are pretty much the two main colors, but I think it comes in like green and like pink and yellow, and they give you several color options as well. And the main selling point of this turntable is that the tone arm is made from carbon fiber. That's why it's called the Project Debut Carbon. So they say that that's what increases the sound quality, because it's a very strong yet lightweight material, and for some reason, I don't know what the magic is behind it, but that is what helps the sound quality. And every Project Debut Carbon comes with the 2M Red, the same cartridge that I have, but it comes standard, so you don't need to upgrade that. So whenever you buy one of these things, it already has that, so you're good to go. You do still need to align the cartridge, and I have videos on my channel that can help you do that. But overall, this is a great turntable that you guys should definitely look into. All right, now we've got the Fluence RT81. Now I do have experience with this turntable as well. It does 33 and 45 RPM, and it comes stock with the Audio-Technica AT95E cartridge. You can see that on the bottom there, the green cartridge. And it comes with a rubber mat, which a lot of turntables nowadays, they don't come with rubber mats. They come with felt mats. So rubber mats used to be popular back in the day, but they've kind of dropped off. I'm not really sure what's the deal with that, but a lot of people really like rubber mats, and this one comes with it. So if that's your thing, you know, people swear by rubber mats or cork mats or whatever. If you like rubber mats, this might be a great way to go. As you can see, it also has the counterweight on the back of the tone arm there. So that's cool. It does have a cueing device. You know, it's got a cue lever right there, so you don't have to drop the needle manually. But this is a manual turntable. So you can actually, no, I'm sorry. I misspoke. This is actually, it gives you the option. If you want it to be manual, you can totally make it manual. That's fine. But it also gives you the option to, you have to drop the needle manually, but whenever it gets to the inside, then it automatically can stop. So if you want to enable that, like if you're playing a 12-inch record, you know, a standard album, then you can do that, and that's awesome. That way you don't have to worry about going back to the turntable and hitting stop whenever it reaches the end of the record. However, if you're playing 7 inches, you know, singles, the 45s, that might not work for you, because you're going to have to do that after every song, and it might stop before the song is finished, before that one single is finished. So they give you options with that. And basically, if you choose the automatic section, the automatic, you know, selection there in the back, then as soon as you move the tone arm towards the turntable platter, it starts spinning. So yeah, overall, it's a cool turntable. The sound quality is excellent, and I really like the main thing that stood out to me whenever I first got it is the really beautiful shine to that wood. It looks awesome. Now, it's not real wood, but it looks that way. So if you want to impress your friends and tell them, maybe lie to them that it's real wood, then you can do that. But you know, it's a nice quality turntable, an excellent beginner's turntable. I would say that this is, you know, a step up. It's kind of maybe an in-between between the LP60 and the LP120. So this is a high quality turntable, and it has everything you need, so you can't go wrong. All right, now finally, last of all, a lot of people say, why don't you ever mention Riga turntables? And here we go. I'm mentioning a Riga Planar 3 because they are really high quality. I follow Sue's Vinyl on Instagram, and she has a Riga Planar 3 in white that she really, really likes. It's in pretty much every one of her photos on Instagram. And I looked at the specs and I did some research, and I found out that, yeah, I mean, these are really high quality turntables. But the reason I had never talked about them in the past is that they're so darn expensive. And that's why I even saved this slide, this picture, to the very end, because just looking at the price, some people will automatically be turned off by this turntable. But if you want really good quality, something that's going to last you a long time, you might want to look into this one. It's got everything you need. It's got even the cartridge. I'm not even sure what cartridge that is, but it looks much, much higher quality than the stuff you'd find on lower price points. And it's got the counterweight in the back. It's got the Q up lever. And you'll notice it has this metal bar that's kind of connecting the underside of the platter with the tone arm. So that's probably a stability feature. This is a really high quality turntable. And if you've got the extra cash and you want to, you know, drop a lot of money on a quality turntable that's going to last you a lifetime, this might be the way to go. But this is definitely not for your average, you know, record collector, hobbyist or something. This is for if you're really wanting to start getting into high-end audiophile territory, then you can look into this one. All right, so those are my tips and the quality turntables that I recommend. And like I said, all those links are in the video description down below, so you can check those out. All right, so before we get to the Instagram winners, I just want to say we will be back right after this. All right, so let's talk about the Instagram winners. Now, basically, if you guys follow me on Instagram, then you're probably watching this live stream, or you'll probably watch it later on. But, so basically, oh, whoa, did I just get like a super chat here? Oh, dude, thanks so much, Just a Guy. I appreciate it, man. So, so Just a Guy is asking me, what do I think about the Marantz TT251? Dude, I have no experience with that turntable. What I'll do though is I will research that and I will talk about it in the next live stream. So I'm going to get back to you, Just a Guy. All right. So apologies for that. All right. So like I was saying, these are the Instagram winners. And if you don't currently follow me on Instagram, you definitely should. It's at Eyezz. And basically what I'm going to be doing is every week I'm going to be doing, you know, these live streams on Saturday morning at 10 a.m., which works for everyone, I think. And I'm going to be doing these contests where, you know, I'm going to be showing off your Instagram photos. It's going to be something different every week. Maybe your vinyl setups, or, you know, your favorite records in your collection, or, you know, all kinds of different stuff. So if you want to participate in these cool contests that I'm kind of trying out on these live streams, then go ahead and follow me at Eyezz, and that would be awesome. All right, so today's topic for the winners of this Instagram contest, and we've got several of them lined up here. So today's topic is your most beautiful vinyl record. The most beautiful vinyl record in your collection. So most of these are like colored vinyl, and that's kind of what I was looking for. So let's just check them out. enough of me blabbering. Let's just get to it. All right, so the first winner is Vinyl Alley, and this is a really cool record called, well, the band is called Nowhere, and the album is called Invisible World. So it looks really, really beautiful. Look at that. It looks like, I don't know what it looks like. It looks gorgeous, though. It looks like almost like a cotton candy, Technicolor cotton candy record. I don't even know how to explain that, but it looks gorgeous. Also, that album cover, I wish I could see more of that in the picture, but I'm kind of focusing on the record here. But yeah, this is by the band Nowhere, and the album is called Invisible World. And the record looks really cool. I'd definitely love to check out their music. So thank you so much, Vinyl Alley, for sending that over. Next up, we got Vinyl Shopper. And this is No Doubt's album, Tragic Kingdom. Look at that beautiful vinyl record. Isn't that gorgeous? It almost looks like oil in water, It looks like droplets of oil in water. Just those beautiful Technicolor, colors that you see when you drop oil into water. If you're looking at it through like a macro lens or something like that, it looks gorgeous. Really, really cool. Thank you so much, Vinyl Shopper, for sending it over. Next up, we got Amir's Vinyl, and the band, this band, which my sister actually listens to and she likes quite a bit. The band is called Strawmay, and the album is called Racine Carré. Now, I probably pronounced that wrong because I butcher all these pronunciations, and I apologize for that. But it's on orange vinyl, and it looks gorgeous. And yeah, the main reason I chose this photo too is because, like I just said a second ago, my sister really likes this band, and she was listening to it recently, and I was on Instagram, and she was kind of looking over my shoulder while I was on Instagram. And basically the way these contests works is that people will tag me in their photos, and that's how I'll take a look at them. And she was like, oh wow, that's really cool. It's a funny coincidence. I'm listening to that band right now and I really like them. So yeah, so that's kind of a big reason why I chose this one. So thank you so much, Amir's Vinyl, for sending it over. Really cool. Next up, we got Vinyl Dogs is the name of his Instagram channel. And this one is the Jurassic Park official soundtrack by John Williams. And as you can see, it looks gorgeous. On the record label, we get a really cool picture of the T-Rex. And then we've got a incredible looking red vinyl record with specks of black and, splotches of yellow and orange in there. It looks really, really cool. All of that against the Audio-Technica LP120 in black. There's a huge contrast there, and it looks really, really beautiful. So thank you so much, Vinyl Dogs, for sending that one over. It looks awesome. Next up, this one actually is probably one of my top favorites in this little collection. This is Africa by Toto, and it's a 7-inch in the shape of the continent of Africa. And as you can see, this turntable is the one I said earlier. It's the U-turn Orbit in white. And he's got even a 45 RPM adapter from Third Man Records. And this is really cool. I mean, if you look this one up, probably on Discogs, they're probably pretty rare. So that's another cool thing. I mean, look at that. Looks gorgeous, right? How can you go wrong with that? Great song and an even cooler looking record. So thank you so much, Maten Riquez. I'm terrible at pronouncing people's names, so I apologize, but thank you so much for sending it over. All right, next up, My Vinyl Records. This is Queen and their album Hot Space in this bright, vibrant blue vinyl record. Really, really cool looking thing. And even the album cover looks cool too. It's got that kind of Andy Warhol thing going on with the faces there. Red, blue, green, yellow, kind of in this grid pattern. Looks really, really cool. And that bright record against that dark turntable, the Pioneer turntable, looks really cool. So it's a cool contrast. All right, thanks so much for sending it over, My Vinyl Records. Next up, we got Great Below. And this is the Game of Thrones official soundtrack from Season 7. And as you can see, it's like on an ice vinyl. It looks really cool. You've got a dragon on the bottom right hand side there, in the bottom right hand corner. And yeah, you know, a lot of people tell me I should watch this show. If you agree that I should watch Game of Thrones, post in the comments down below, because I have not seen a single episode, but I really like the way this vinyl record looks. And yeah, I mean, wow, they're already 7 seasons in, maybe a lot more by this point. But yeah, this is a really cool looking record and seems like a really cool show. It's probably one I should definitely check out. But lately I've been watching Better Call Saul. Have you guys been watching that one? Really cool show. I really like that one. Totally different genre. But anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. Thank you so much, Great Below, for sending it. Looks really, really beautiful. I love that ice vinyl. Looks great. Next up, we got Johnny VNYL. And this is another blue record, but you can see it's got specks of white in there too. Almost like little specks of like clouds in there. And this is an album by an artist called, I won't say the full name, but the artist is called Star Effer. And the album, that's the band. And then the album is called Being No One, Going Nowhere. And what I really like about this picture is the background here. Yeah, the record looks great and the album cover looks great, but the background that he chose to put behind this record artwork is really cool, and I think it complements the whole picture here. It's got, you know, like little music symbols and stuff there, so that's really cool. Thank you so much, Johnny Vinyl, for sending it. Appreciate it. Next up, we got Fritz Electric Acoustic. All right, so this is an ocean blue record. Really, really cool. The name of the band is The Record Company, and the album is All of This Life. All of This Life by The Record Company. It's kind of funny. The band is called The Record Company. Yeah, that's a bit meta, isn't it? So it's on a light blue colored vinyl record. Really, really cool. And the turntable he's got there is the LP120 in silver. Thanks so much for sending it, Fritz Electric Acoustic. All right, finally, the last winner here we've got is JV Vinyl. And this is an artist called B. Miller, and it's her album called Aurora. So, there's a lot of cool stuff in this one. First of all, it's a clear vinyl, and it's got specks of like red and blue and yellow and all that kind of stuff just thrown in there. And that's how they arranged it in the vinyl puck, and then it was pressed that way. I mean, that looks really, really cool. And I actually looked her up on YouTube, and I liked a couple of her songs. It's very modern music, and actually she's pretty talented from what I was listening to. So yeah, JV Vinyl, thank you so much for sending it over. That's a beautiful picture, man. All right, so guys, we are going to do another shoutouts like I was saying earlier. So let's set the timer for, you know, a little bit longer this time. And if I didn't get to you the first time, let's get to you now. All right. So I'm going to start the timer in, 5 seconds. And you guys tell me, I already see your channel name on there, but just tell me where you're watching this live stream from, because I'd love to give you a shout out. All right. Starting right now. Taryn Kerr from Washington, Live Wire. Good evening from Finland. We've got In the Groove from Mandeville, Louisiana. We've got Katrina from Cyprus. We've got Vilmos from Hungary. Kitten Care, hello from Phoenix. Is it hot enough for you over there? Beautiful, beautiful state, Arizona. Jordan in Croatia. Razor is Life. Oh, comments are coming in a little fast. George from Salem, Oregon. Channel Zero from Sydney, Australia. We've got Scott from Meredith, New Hampshire. We've got Seamus O'Hara from Seattle, Washington. We've got Lisa from Houston. Bo 9 Dan Orr from Canada. OT from Mexico. Rick R from LAX Airport. Oh wow, are you about to hop on a flight? Thanks for watching the live stream while you're waiting. Kukas Hislarp. He's watching the live stream, watching the live stream from Huntsville, Alabama. Litigious Society, Knoxville, Tennessee. Philippe from the Netherlands. Jack Oxford from Great Manchester. Ethan Dean watching from Yorkshire. Let's see here. Man, the comments are just rolling in. Sorry. Tyler Q from Minnesota. Oh, I see. I see how you wrote that. That's funny. I'll do the accent. Tyler Q from Minnesota. The Hawaii Files channel from Honolulu. Taryn Kerr from Belfair, Washington. Did I give you? Oh, yeah, I gave you a shout out already. Suf Sanin from Bangladesh. Yeah, let me see here. Corey from Chicago, Illinois. Ty said from North Korea. Very funny, Ty. That's great. How did you get internet access over there? Thank you for that comment. Sinful from Las Vegas. Chris from Virginia. Super Sam Squared from California. Koskin from Sweden. Jacob from Texas, Houston, Texas. All right. Patrick from Jeffersonville, Indiana. And yeah, I think I got to most people. 93 Shadow says, Jarrett, totally ignore that timer and keep it going. All right, I'm going to keep it going for just just a couple more seconds, all right? The Drew Mania from San Antonio. Vanilo Enfermos from Madrid, Spain. Sorry, I butchered your name there. Mark Goodrich from Long Beach, California. Troll Doll from California. Mystery Saka from Charlotte, North Carolina. Craze 3E987 from his work in Maryland. Thanks so much for being productive at work and watching my silly little live stream. I appreciate it. Good Title from Finland. Alpha Echo Extra from California. Brian from Ireland. Did I give you a shout out already, Brian? I can't remember. All right, so I'm going to stop the shout outs now, but guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. And Sinful X111 asks, have you done the vinyl post reviews yet on Instagram? Well, basically the way I do it on Instagram, man, is I will ask you guys, like, tag me in a picture of, your most beautiful record, like in today's example. And then I'll see them on my Instagram and I'll choose like the top 10. But that was this week. Maybe next week I'll do something different. But if you follow me at Vinylize, then you can appear in one of these live streams if I choose you. So yeah, so just send me your awesome photos on Instagram. That would be really, really cool. So guys, I hope this live stream helped you with your record collecting hobby, or if you're getting a new turntable or whatever. I hope you saw some value in this live stream, and hopefully I wasn't just babbling on like a crazy person. But those are some of the things that helped me when I was first getting into records and choosing a proper turntable. Those were some of the things that I was looking for, and I wish someone had told me back then to look for these things. Thankfully, I got the right turntable to begin with, but a lot of people unfortunately aren't that lucky, and they get something that they kind of aren't the happiest with, and then they end up upgrading later on. So I don't want that to be your case. I want you to start off with a high quality turntable to begin with. And like I said, all the turntables that I recommend are in the video description down below if you want to check those out for yourself. But overall, guys, this was another successful live stream. Thank you so much for all of you for being here. Sorry if I was, if I was a little tired this morning. I didn't get a ton of sleep last night, but anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. And yeah, I'm going to be doing live streams a lot more often. So if you're watching this live, you're not going to see these buttons here on the screen, but if you come later, you'll see them. If you want, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell notification icon. You can do that right here. If you're coming later and you see that button there, then you can do that. Also, if you want to pick up one of our Vinylize t-shirts, they're going to be right there. But if you're watching the live stream, you're not going to see these buttons there. But anyways, guys, thank you so much, and have a fantastic Saturday, and most importantly, keep spinning that vinyl.